Hi guys, so this is going to be a flip through of my budget journal. I use a Filofax Patent A5 as my budget journal, and it works out really well for me. This is the outside of it. I use both side tabs, and I don't have my pretty pin in there, but I use both side tabs and top tabs for my budget journal. I'm trying to make sure it's in focus here. Alright, so that's what it is. I keep my planners packed. That's just how I prefer them to look, but you definitely don't have to overstuff it like I have done. So when you first open up, I don't keep fancy stuff on the sides here. I wish I kept this more decorative, but I'm actually more of a efficiency planner user. I like efficiency over aesthetics, so to speak. But I do like to keep it cute, but I just don't have it, as cute as other people have it. So there's nothing here. I have just a piece of flyleaf vellum paper, I think it's called, right here. And then I have just a piece of scrapbook paper here. And this is my monthly budget. I put a clear one here just so I'm not telling my business to YouTube. But I actually made this myself using Excel. So this is my monthly budget section. It has a piece for checking, and I literally just have very specified, monthly budget sheets, and I have a bunch of them here. So every month I fill this out. It has a section for checking, my checking account, and it has it broken up as to what my bills are. A section for notes on the side. At the top there's a part for my income, the month, all my bills, and then there's a section for savings, and then there's also a section for bad debt. So that's my monthly budget section. I can really go deep into that, but that's pretty much what it is. I also keep a monthly budget section that I actually printed off. I think this is from Wonderful. I think that's how you pronounce her name, but I'm not sure. But I don't really use that one as much. But this is basically just my budget section. Yeah. I also have some envelopes here that I've pretty much, I keep old pay stubs and stuff in there. And I keep it closed with washi tape, which I need to make a bigger piece of washi tape there. And I put washi tape on the sides here. So that's just an A5 size envelope. I made my own pockets out of old file folders. So this is just a file folder that I got from, I think, the Target Dollar Spot. And I just glued it together here. Or actually, I didn't glue this part. So yeah, I glued the bottom part together. And I keep cash in here too. So, but I keep whatever I want in there. This section is the calendar section, and I keep the Filofax regular calendar in here. So it goes all the way through 2016. That's when I bought this. The next section is the bills section, and this is a top tab here. This is another monthly budget sheet. I think I got this from Wonderful as well, but this just has my monthly bills on it. So that's what that is. I also put a little note to myself that I need to keep a bill tracker that shows the total amount and set up plan to pay it all off. So this is my big bills, huge bills. The other tracker was just for my regular bills and stuff like that. Hope I'm not all over the place with this video. And then I put another envelope here, and inside of this envelope I just keep random bill stuff like receipts and special things for my bills. I keep that in this envelope, and I have another pocket here to keep more stuff. The next section is my expenses section. This is just where I keep a big to-do list of what kind of big expenses I have coming up. And I'm sorry, actually this is still in my to-do. I'm sorry, this video. This is actually my to-do section, not my expenses section. So I have a to-do list with big expenses that I'll have, and then right after that is my expenses section. And I have sort of like a budget key here of like expenses that are rotating that I have every month, and then I keep track of everything that I spend on this little expense tracker sheet. And then behind the expenses section, I also keep like a printout of very, very important stuff like invoices and things like that. Another envelope here, and in this envelope I keep just like coupons and things like that, receipts for some of my bigger expenses that I might need for tax purposes or something like that. Then I also have a research section. Now the reason I have a research section is because I kind of feel like I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to budgeting. So I just printed off an A5 version of like a really, really good budgeting guide that I found online. I printed that out and I put it in here. And I keep notes on it and stuff like that. It really helps keep me on track. As far as keeping my expenses, budgeting for my family, I'm a new mom, things like that. So that is my research section. Then I have a section for my loans, which I hate. But I keep track of all my payments, my student loan payments, because they will seriously try to screw you over if you don't keep track of that stuff. So this is for my student loans. I also keep another little envelope here with information about any type of loans that I have, which at this point is only student loans, but I plan on buying a car soon. So this section is for my taxes. This is not really used that much, but it's here just in case there's ever any important information I need for my taxes. This is the notes section. This is just to make sure that I have all types of important information, just sort of like any notes that I may want to jot down. I use the Filofax note paper for this section. Then back here is my contacts. I haven't really put anything back here either, but this actually is going to get a lot of use because I'm going to make sure I put down important numbers and things like that just in case my boyfriend needs to make some calls. I kept and you know, like he needs to use my journal to make those calls, whatever. Anyway, here's a ruler back here, and then I kept the pocket from the Filofax journal. What do I have in here? I have like sort of like memo paper here. It's my favorite memo paper. I got it from an Etsy shop. And then there's a moleskin that I use. I call it the Journal of Shit to Do. And as you can see, it's not used that much, but it's basically a bullet journal of, you guessed it, shit to do. And here is just some important document, whatever, and I always keep string and stuff like that on me. And in the back of the pocket here, I have just another notepad. I got this from the Target dollar spot. It's one of those like sort of mouse pad notepads, but instead of sticking it through this part, I stuck it through the back part, long way. I wonder if that makes sense to you guys. Alright, and that is my budget journal. I haven't really achieved planner peace, as they call it, with this budget journal, but it's definitely getting there. So maybe once I'm like completely satisfied with it, I'll make another video for you guys. But this is basically just my budget journal and how I keep track of all my expenses. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.